The Lord be with you. I'm Deacon Keith Fournier. Our first reading is taken from the book of Genesis. Yahweh appeared to him at the Oak of Mamre while he was sitting by the entrance of the tent during the hottest part of the day. He looked up, and there he saw 3 men standing near him. As soon as he saw them, he ran from the entrance of the tent to greet them and bowed to the ground. "My Lord," he said, "if I find favor with you, please do not pass your servant by. Let me have a little water brought, and you can wash your feet and have a rest under the tree. Let me fetch a little bread, and you can refresh yourselves before going further, now that you have come in your servant's direction." They replied, "Do as you say." Abraham hurried to the tent and said to Sarah, "Quick, knead 3 measures of best flour and make loaves." Then running to the herd, Abraham took a fine and tender calf and gave it to the servant, who hurried to prepare it. Then taking curds, milk, and the calf which had been prepared, he laid all before them, and they ate while he remained standing near them under the tree. "Where is your wife Sarah?" they asked him. "She is in the tent," he replied. Then his guest said, "I shall come back to you next year, and then your wife Sarah will have a son." Sarah was listening at the entrance of the tent behind him. Now Abraham and Sarah were old, well on in years, and Sarah had ceased to have her monthly periods. So Sarah laughed to herself, thinking, "Now that I am past the age of childbearing, and my husband is an old man, is pleasure to come my way again?" But Yahweh asked Abraham, "Why did Sarah laugh and say, 'Am I really going to have a child now that I am old?' Nothing is impossible for Yahweh. I shall come back to you at the same time next year, and Sarah will have a son." Sarah said, "I did not laugh," lying because she was afraid. But he replied, "Oh yes, you did laugh." Our response is taken from the Gospel of St. Luke, chapter 1. And Mary said, "My soul proclaims the greatness of the Lord, and my spirit rejoices in God my Savior, because he has looked upon the humiliation of his servant. Yes, from now onwards all generations will call me blessed. For the Almighty has done great things for me. Holy is his name, and his faithful love extends age after age to those who fear him. He has filled the starving with good things, sent the rich away empty. He has come to the help of Israel, his servant, mindful of his faithful love, according to the promise he made to our ancestors, of his mercy to Abraham, and to his descendants forever." A reading from the Holy Gospel according to St. Matthew. When Jesus went into Capernaum, a centurion came up and pleaded with him. "Sir," he said, "my servant is lying at home paralyzed and in great pain." Jesus said to him, "I will come myself and cure him." The centurion replied, "Sir, I am not worthy to have you under my roof. Just give the word, and my servant will be cured. For I am under authority myself and have soldiers under me. And I say to one man, 'Go,' and he goes. To another, 'Come here,' and he comes. To my servant, 'Do this,' and he does it." When Jesus heard this, he was astonished and said to those following him, "In truth I tell you, in no one in Israel have I found faith as great as this. And I tell you that many will come from east and west and sit down with Abraham and Isaac and Jacob at the feast in the kingdom of heaven. But the children of the kingdom will be thrown out into the darkness outside, where there will be weeping and grinding of teeth." And to the centurion Jesus said, "Go back then. Let this be done for you as your faith demands." And the servant was cured at that moment. And going into Peter's house, Jesus found Peter's mother-in-law in bed and feverish. He touched her hand, and the fever left her. And she got up and began to serve him. That evening they brought him many who were possessed by devils, He drove out the spirits with a command and cured all who were sick. This was to fulfill what was spoken by the prophet Isaiah. He himself bore our sicknesses away and carried our diseases. The Gospel of the Lord.
Favour